For the past year and a half, I've been covering my favorite reality show on all of television, Bar Rescue. In that year and a half, I've managed to create 9 videos on the rescue series, Marriage Rescue included, which altogether accumulated over 4 million views. However, it is only today, on the 10th video in my rescue series, that I am realizing just how much free press I'm giving this show. Honestly, I don't really care though. Paramount stopped copyright claiming my videos like a year ago. At this point, I'm convinced there's someone on the other side who sees the mutual benefit. I mean, come on. So what do we do, right? Episode 10, you know, it feels momentous. It feels like we should maybe do something special. Well, my original idea was to cover an episode from the newest season of Bar Rescue, but after watching a couple of episodes, I realized that the new season actually sucks. In fact, multiple episodes don't even include John in the rescuing. He'll just send people in like Phil Wills to do the whole thing. I see what they're doing though. You know, they're trying to phase him out. They're trying to slowly, you know, work him out of the system. But Paramount, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna work. Okay, it's not. You are better off canceling this show than doing it without John Taffer. Trust me. Additionally, the episodes that do contain John present so much potential and then get super boring halfway through. There are literally 2 separate episodes that start with a shitty bar owner, and after the first night, they both decide to cooperate.
I just want to apologize for reacting the way I did. Thank you, sir.
We're failing because I think I'm not doing the right things.
Oh, fuck. Where's the struggle? Where's the chaos? Overall, so far, it's just felt like a pretty stripped down season. You know, the show is just trying to evolve itself in all the wrong ways. And personally, for me, it's just not working. They don't even do recon in a dark SUV anymore. It's not the same, guys, okay? It doesn't feel right. So what do we do? Well, I got an email. I received this email back in October of last year from this person. This is how they wanted to be credited. They have social media. There you go. Well, I'm not just gonna use this idea and pretend like it was all mine. All right, I'm not a liar. I'm not. They brought my attention to an unaired episode of Bar Rescue that was intended to release in 2013, but the reason for it not releasing is genuinely insane. Because the day before this episode was set to air, the owner of the bar, Christopher Farrell, shot and killed a country musician. I have not a single idea what to do with that information, nor do I know how it's going to affect the contents of the episode. Needless to say, I'm concerned. The only place you can access this episode is on the Internet Archive, and unfortunately, the quality of the broadcast recording isn't amazing, but we're just gonna have to deal with that, aren't we? So let's sit back, get really tense and uncomfortable and sweaty and fart, and let's watch this.
Nashville, Tennessee, known as Music City, USA, is home to 4 major record labels and 19,000 music industry professionals between the ages of 25 and 49.
So here we are in Nashville, Tennessee. This place is absolutely crawling with bars. And I wasn't gonna point it out, but I think that's good wordplay because of bar crawl. Folks, I gotta say, it is an absolute shame that this episode never aired, because aside from the whole murder thing, this episode is a fucking classic. Today's story takes us to Boondocks Barbecue and Juke Joint. The docks part is spelled like doxing, so I guess just like don't connect to the Wi-Fi here or something. I don't know, is that funny? I thought I'd try a little harder this time. Look at this deer bust with sunglasses. Is that funny? Look at this photo I took. Is that funny?
Your body has to reflex the dogs.
Here we are, guys. Boondocks Barbecue and Juke Joint.
John, can you tell me what a juke joint is? It sounds like something from the 50s.
Oh, okay, man. You're funny, all right? Who the fuck is this guy? This is Trevor Fry, John's expert mixologist for the episode, and he was GQ's most inspired bartender. Runner-up.
To turn around the kitchen, John has brought in barbecue master Kevin Bludso. His slow and low cooking technique has made his barbecue the most popular in Southern California.
Well, that's an easy way to get that title. All you have to do is get really good at barbecue and then take it somewhere where people are really bad at barbecue. Your chances of getting an award are instantly increased.
All right, guys, there's Chris. He's our owner.
Ex-musician.
No prior bar experience at all.
They really appreciate you boys coming out. We go a long, long way back.
They call him Mr. Nashville. And he figures he's going to open his bar and all his friends are going to come. You see any friends in there?
Nah, sir.
Damn, dude. That's just not fair, man. I mean, he's not even there to defend himself. Not that we would want him to. Well, I'll tell you a couple things right now, right off the bat. First of all, this episode has absolutely classic bar rescue energy. The DLC character cards, the car, the screen. You know that screen that we all have in the car that you can hack with? You don't have one? Second of all, you probably noticed John mention that people allegedly call this guy Mr. Nashville.
They call him Mr. Nashville.
But that's the only time they mention that fact the entire episode, so I have no idea where he got that from. You know, now that I think about it though, it does kind of sound like a playground insult that John would come up with. Oh, there he goes, Mr. Nashville! Tonight's proceedings are gonna be a little bit different though, because this place sucks so bad that they don't even get customers in the first place. So here's John's idea.
You know, I've had the place under surveillance for a couple of days. Chris always complains he doesn't have bodies in there. I got about 80 people gonna walk through the door.
I mean, what a better way to visualize a typical night at the bar than by putting the staff in a situation that they're never in. This bar is tiny. I mean, I can only imagine what a nightmare this must be. For the workers.
Look at the terror on their faces.
Oh, they're in their pants right
Yeah, glad you guys are enjoying this domestic terrorism. Surely, never before on this show have I ever seen John just straight up terrorize people right off the bat. Right? I mean, as far as he knows, they haven't even done anything to deserve this. But obviously, the team is going to use this opportunity to critique every mistake the staff makes. And when they're done doing that, a rather interesting comment is made.
Look at this table of girls.
This is the money maker at a bar. You have a table full of women.
Wow, Trevor! Seems like you know a thing or two about the ladies. And I know a thing or two about you. I don't know if I'm just really good with Google or if this was some kind of divine intervention, but this search result kind of just popped out to me, if you will. Man convicted of taking topless photos of girlfriend. An Arlington man has been found guilty of unlawful filming, a class 1 demeanor, after taking an unauthorized topless photo of his now ex-girlfriend while she was sleeping. Fry was acquitted on a separate charge of unlawful entry. He had been accused of entering his ex-girlfriend's apartment and knocking on her bedroom door in the middle of the night while intoxicated. I mean, you really can't make this shit up, right, guys? It just falls into my lap. By the way, this happened in 2012, only 1 year before this episode was supposed to come out. So I'm sure that the filming was even closer to the incident. Well, all I can say is thank God this is the guy making the drinks. Hey, he may be a sex offender, he may be an alcoholic, but goddamn it, can he make it old-fashioned?
We should have music going in here right now.
Absolutely no. Luke Bryan, Eric Church, or Taylor Swift.
Here's what I hear about Chris. This guy only likes old classic country music.
No, none of that Taylor Swift, none of that Travis Kelce. No, let me show you some real country oldies. From the Civil War. So yeah, Chris has this weird territorial obsession with country music. He's the guy at the party who puts on MF Doom and walks around asking people if they're really listening.
So that's Chris back there. We stuck his face in there to smell it to make sure it was good because there's no date on it.
What is it?
Look at this. Everything comes out of a plastic bag in this place.
That's the pulled pork.
It's interesting because this is now the second establishment I've seen on this show that claims to be a barbecue joint, but just isn't. The worst part about this place is that they literally have a smoker out back. They just never use it.
The wings are inedible.
The wings are inedible.
We're not very tasty.
Talking about the same wings that come out of my kitchen.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, I don't know, ladies. I'd be careful critiquing the chef on this one. You know, because he had to take it all the way out of the bag, you know? Chef Kevin's like, yeah, so the reason the pulled pork is so dry is because he's putting it in the microwave, so we're really gonna need to improve on that. That's not something that you need to train out of him. He's just being lazy. Later in the evening, Chris starts arguing with one of the bartenders, and John's like, hey, look, they're arguing.
Look at this. Chris is losing his cool. He's yelling at Stacy.
And I guess that's enough nonsense to send him over the edge, because just like that, he springs into action.
You know what, guys? I've seen enough. I want to go in hard.
Whoa, John, what are you talking about, man? You said that. Naturally, they make an entrance unlike any other. If I saw these three guys walking into my bar like this, I'd say, good evening, officers.
You're just using pulled pork that was soaked in barbecue sauce.
You see what I'm saying, guys? They really don't do it like this anymore. John used to have all the power in the palm of his hand. I haven't seen him look at someone like a substitute teacher in a long time. I mean, you guys saw that community post. The guy's just having way too much fun now. You know, we gotta bring him back to reality.
Hey, guys. Is this good barbecue? No. Look at the grease coming out of this wing.
Yeah, this barbecue sucks, right, ladies? Well, how about when I pulverize it and juice it? Eat it out of my hand. I'm sorry, this is a very small detail, but how is that a good way to measure the quality of the food? Why is picking it up and juicing it the first thing he thinks of? Watch any wing commercial. They don't squeeze the wing. What do? Dip it in the ranch. And then they squeeze it. After all that jelking, though, John decides he's gonna take a break to wash his hands. So now we get to see the potty.
Look at this place. All over the side of the frickin' toilet. Look at the frickin' urinal. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to look in your parents' eyes and say I lost your money? Are you gonna save yourself like this?
Okay, we'll get to the poop in a second, but you'll probably notice that John mentioned him wasting all of his parents' money. Yeah, this guy used his parents' money to start this place, and he owes them like $100,000. This is the first time we've seen daddy money debt on this show. I probably could have mentioned that in the beginning, but that wouldn't have been cool. That would have been boring. Okay, back to the shit.
Look at this place. All over the side of the frickin' toilet.
There is so much to unpack in just this one moment. I mean, first question is obvious. How do you miss that bad? That shit looks like a fucking shotgun blast. We can't even be sure if it was calculated or not. Second of all, and somehow even more bizarre, did anyone notice the water impact sound effect?
Look at this place.
I know they're referencing the plop of the poop, but it literally sounds like someone doing a cannonball into a pool. I just, who selected that? I don't actually care, because in the following sequence, we get to watch quite possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen John do.
Then clean that for me now. Go ahead. And I want to watch you. Your attitude pisses me off. I'm here to help you, man.
And I'm here to take it. I'm also not gonna be kicked just for no reason.
I'm here for 5 days. Is this the way you want us to spend our time?
What? They're like trauma bonding. Yeah, get in there, man. Clean it up. Let me watch you. I don't want to see you get hurt, man. I care about you. Lick it up. Am I wrong? Like, is this episode not a hidden classic? Honestly, this could have gone down as one of the better episodes of all time. The bar faces classic issues like under-temperature meat, disgusting bar conditions, rat poop. Guys, 2 kinds of poop in this episode. Honestly, shout out rats, okay? Shout out rats. Hey, no! You were not invited, man.
Oh!
Anybody drink any whiskey tonight?
You're me. Oh my God. I cannot handle
All
it.
right, folks, what do you think of that?
Guys, look at that. Look at how cool it looks when I put the light in it. Naturally, though, this causes John to go cum mode. And you guys know how that goes, you know? Cum mode. And he once again proceeds to do one of the stupidest things I've ever seen him do.
You walk in here and call this your life. Your family money on the line. This place is closed. I suggest everybody get out of here, especially you with open-toe shoes.
He literally created that problem for her. Kind of bizarre thing happens at the end of the night here. One of the bartenders, Stacy, decides to, out of nowhere, reveal that she has a friendship with the bar mouse, which sends her and Chris into another argument.
I know there was a mouse in here. I've made jokes about Henry being in here.
You like to think the mouse is some cute little thing like he's some sort of damn pet. And I should have killed the mother a long time ago.
Yeah, I'd like to report an incident at the
I don't like being
Boondocks. So this is scary. This guy is a scary guy. Obviously, everyone is very heated from the evening, but his anger, it feels like a particular type of anger that I don't like. Yeah, and I want to talk about that anger a little bit because I want to do a little more research on this murder. Like, I want to know specifically what actually happened here. All you really have to do is look up Chris Farrell murder. Look at this. Rolling Stone reported on it. Bar owner found guilty in murder of country singer Wayne Mills. I don't know Wayne Mills. Do I know Wayne Mills? I don't think I know any of these songs. But he's dead now, so I guess he didn't really get a chance to really blow up. So it looks like right here that Wayne Mills and Chris were actually friends. They became engaged in an altercation in Farrell's Nashville bar. It ended with Farrell pulling a .22 pistol and firing 3 shots, one of which hit the journeyman country singer in the back of the head. And they were friends too. That is captivating. I wonder what they were fighting about. I wonder if this was some kind of rivalry, because they mentioned in the show that Chris is a country musician. He claimed self-defense in the shooting, testifying he fired at Mills out of fear after the singer smashed a glass and threatened to kill the bar owner. Farrell's admission that he feared for his life wasn't enough to persuade the jury, however. Interesting. Holy shit, man. That is actually insane. Bar where country artist Wayne Mills killed is finally demolished. Okay, demolished. Dude, it's just crazy to see something like that happen. Someone said they're glad it was knocked down out of respect for the dead. I can see that. Jesus Christ. Baby Mint Julep said, good. Die alone, Chris Farrell. Well, I feel like that was much needed context. I couldn't just drop it at the beginning of the video and then not say anything about it afterwards, right? Okay. The next day actually starts off seemingly well. Everything is cleaned, Chris is in a good mood, and John recognizes it all. But as soon as it seems like things are going to get better, John decides to dive into the gossip from the night before. Specifically, Chris and Stacy's fight in the kitchen.
And that does what good for the bar?
If I had 2 seconds, people pulling me in 12 directions, I might be able to do that.
How's that make you feel?
Oh my God, Stacy, do we need to separate you from him?
I see the look on your face. You know what he's doing? You saw that, didn't you?
No, it isn't. The same way I look
Staring you
every
down.
damn day.
Shut up. Don't you say this about me, right? If you want to intimidate your staff in front of me, I got to tell you something. I am far more intimidating than you'll ever be.
Our guy is on fire tonight. You guys saw that lunge forward he did to prove his point? How many people thought things were gonna get physical? Let me see a show of hands. John reasons that Chris's employees aren't gonna be able to give productive answers, probably on account of the fact that they're deathly afraid of him. So he instead calls in 2 ex-employees and they hate him, dude. They expose the shit out of him. One of them actually stands up for Stacy, which really pisses him off.
He just makes her feel like he treats her like he makes other people think that she's nothing but because they watch the way
You are way out of line.
Chris, all you do is yell at her.
No, 100% in nothing.
Oh, please. You know what? Shut the up, Chris. You
I don't
know
have to
you
listen
like
to anymore, Alexis.
So, Chris actually seems like a terrible guy. Once again, aside from the murder. He abuses his all-female staff, freeloads off of his parents, and overall is just a lazy asshole. But while he speeds off in his El Camino, it's time for the staff to get some training, starting off with some help from our resident sex offender, Trevor Fry. He focuses on speed pours because it seems like their biggest downfall when it comes to cocktails is measuring out the drinks. They probably taste like shit. You guys want to see an awesome John moment, though?
There's 3 elements to a great cocktail. Sweet, sour, and there's alcohol. The fact is, you're back.
Chris has come back to apologize and is seemingly in shambles, but he's doing that, like, manipulator cry. It's really off-putting.
I have been trying to redefine those points in my personality where I am not so abrasive. Every one of you mean a lot to me. I'm sorry.
Well, Stacy lets us know that she doesn't believe it because this is typical behavior of Chris. Essentially, it seems like we're dealing with crocodile tears.
So how long you had your smoker, man?
About a year.
I'm a barbecue guy. If you mess with my pit, I feel like you're messing with my wife. So you should be upset. And you got a big old fine black woman right here.
All right, looks like Kevin's ready to let his balls sit in the smoker for a couple hours. This is pretty much just a scene to give us our science lesson for the episode. This one, obviously, is about smoking meats. I'm not gonna play it because that's for losers. And just so you know, if you've ever been interested in learning how meat smoking works, it actually means that you're dumber than the average person and that you smell bad. Well, now it's time for the stress test. Honestly, I don't think we made very much progress between night 1 and night 2, so I'm not really sure what to expect here.
Now, you're a bit of a music snob.
To put it lightly, the crap that is out there today, it's just not what I believe in.
Dude, he has like the personality of like a famous killer, you know, like someone who would kill a famous person. I don't know, it just like he feels very true crime, you know? It feels like we're watching a killer in the making. I don't know if it's because of the content, I don't know. All right, so stress test. It gets off to a pretty bad start. Not gonna lie, they still suck at making drinks.
You just took the wrong order, Chris. That's why you got to watch what's going on.
You got table numbers on there? How are they gonna know where the hell the food's going?
Chris messed up that first.
I love moments where John's just kind of standing there asking questions like a child. Hey, you got order numbers? How do you guys make the tickets print? Bar still failing. But we don't have to worry about that because John solved Chris's bad music taste issue by bringing in a real contemporary artist, baby. John knows real music. Did you guys know that John was actually a drummer for years? Look at this clip that he posted recently.
There's Latin. There's African. Sitar Indian. Which is pretty normal. And there is my my drum set.
I'm not gonna lie though, this singer fucking blows, dude. She's incredibly pitchy, but John's like, no, this is real music.
This guy's a music snob. He plays older, unpopular country music. Tonight we have contemporary country rock, and it worked.
Chris starts to get very aggressive again. He does this creepy thing where he quietly berates one of the waitresses and literally chases her to the kitchen. He's a threat, dude.
Chris, I'll show you something. I have a real survey going on right now. Would you come back? 90% said no. Would you recommend us to a friend? 90% said no. This is the enemy.
Yeah, Chris, look at this. We're gonna have to fix this, man. This isn't looking good. We're gonna have to make some changes here. Oh, hey, before I lose you, man, you mind real quick if you just take a look? So the stress test was a clear failure. The staff failed to keep things together in pretty much every department. This, of course, leads us to our debrief at the end of the night. And, you know, I feel like we know enough about this show at this point. So let's save ourselves some time and just see how that goes, huh?
Oh, man, the kitchen was a disaster, man. Wrong tickets, Chris yelling at Amber, cussing Amber out, and it wasn't her fault.
I did not.
Over the top. You did yell at Chris. Take some blame for something, man.
I've
It's the
accepted
same
accepted. You know what? You're not going to talk to me like that. Communicating the same.
Whoa, okay. All right, Big Kev is here. Part of my lack of decency, but I had no idea that Big Kev was even an option on tonight's bingo card. My only hope is that no one calls him that. You know, like, I really hope it's just a little thing that he has for himself. However, the arrival of Big Kev means that it's time for everyone to calm down for the night. But there is still one thing that John can't get over.
Chris is a music snob, and he snobbed himself all the way to the broke house.
All right, man, you gotta get over it. John's kind of just obsessed with that on the side, but what he's really focused on is figuring out how they can rebrand and bring in more customers. They're kind of fucked over by default because they're multiple blocks from Broadway, which is Nashville's cool street, you know? You know what I mean? You know how every city or town has their own cool street?
We have 5 restaurants that feature barbecue on Broadway, but it's not your kind of barbecue, brother. Real pit barbecue.
That's real.
But I know we can kick their asses. And what goes great with barbecue? Whiskey.
Whiskey all day.
You've got to feature it. We have Dickel right here in the
Wow,
state.
you really hit
Use
that
the right
Dick and
mixer.
Dickel. You're a nasty son of a bitch, man. Check his hard drives. For reference, Dickel is a whiskey brand. I bet this guy would make something called the Dickel Surprise. Freak.
Chris has a very thick head, and it's not easy to change his mind. I'm taking out the big guns today. Chris is going to get the awakening that he needs.
I reached out to your parents.
Oh, shit. Now, this scene is highly off-putting, and that's for 2 reasons. Number 1, his parents are resoundingly normal, like wildly regular, which, number 2, actually makes this really sad. Yeah, Chris is an absolute piece of shit, but his mother even alludes to the fact that he wasn't always that way.
When you were younger, and we always told you that you were a born con artist because you always got your way with kindness. You were never mean. And now you're kind of mean.
Knowing the context of the murder makes this scene just feel worse, and it's hard because while he's clearly in a dark time during this episode, it doesn't really change the fact that he's an asshole. I don't know, I'm unsure how to feel empathy-wise here. Regardless of that, though, his parents are like, look, we love you, but we need that money. Look at John, dude, he's so happy with himself.
I'm going to start off with what's going to be called the Studio B. It's one of the most famous recording studios in Nashville. We're going to be using 1 1/4 ounce of the Dickel Rye, 2 lime wedges, squeeze that juice in there. We're going to top it, 3.5 ounces, fresh ginger beer.
No, I like Dickel Surprise better. Also, this is just a whiskey ginger. Brother is yapping with this Studio B nonsense. His other drink is called the $1 Million Quartet. It's a spin on a Manhattan, and I gotta say, this guy loves a stereotypical alcoholic's drink. Don't worry though, drinkers, we're gonna make an orange fucking explode. That'll make it feel more warranted. Over in the kitchen, Big Kev is showing Chris how to make this rub, and this shit looks fire. He wraps it in bacon too. Tell you what though, no way Chris is gonna be able to replicate that. Also, why don't they just hire a chef? Like, as far as I'm concerned, I think Chris is the only chef. He's the only guy in the kitchen. Hire a chef. Well, there's no time for that because the training day is over and it's time to remodel. The morning of the reveal, John's wearing these sunglasses. They look so goofy on his head. I don't know if it's him or the glasses. Maybe he's hungover. All right, though, I'm ready to see this place. Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Honestly, pretty solid makeover. He finally didn't fuck it up for once. I really love this logo above the front door. And they did a really good job with the inside, too. I don't know, man. Even down to the remodels, the earlier seasons, they just had it, you know?
This was your dream, wasn't it?
It's
makes my dream again.
Sometimes great songs need two writers.
Correct.
Right? You came in, I just came in with the bridge, buddy.
Oh my God, man, shut up. It's quite the epic remodel overall, and the grand reopening actually goes really well. Apparently in the first 6 weeks, sales almost tripled, so hey, I guess he was on a solid road to paying his parents back. Until he killed a guy. Ah, come on, guys. Ah, whatever. That is like one of my favorite Bar Rescue episodes ever. I can't believe it never aired. Obviously, I understand it, but damn, that's like a hidden classic. That's like true lost media. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed it a lot. If you did, though, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I was gonna say kiss, but I always do that. In the comments, I want you to have a conversation about what your favorite Bar Rescue episode is. I don't know, I've never asked you guys before, and I wanna know, because I'm gonna make more Bar Rescue videos. Anyway, guys, that is all that I have for you this time, but until next time. Did you guys notice that I shot at a slightly different angle today? Pretty crazy shit, right? All right, I'm done, I gotta poop.